in the adult world seems to be extremely intelligent, and you are way beyond. I want to stress, I've never spoken with you in person, right? But you were in the military, you had a great gig in the military, which required being sharp and being on point, and you're a businesswoman. You have your own production company, and you're doing things. So that stereotype, I'm sure you run into that stereotype. You're blonde, you have big boobs. People think you're not that bright, right? Do you run into that a lot, a little bit, or rarely?
I'm entertained by people who think that I'm not intelligent, and I use that to my advantage, whether it be in a conversation or in a business deal or just for my own ego when I watch them suffer. No, I'm very serious. Yes, people look at me. Usually my posture tells them that I'm nobody to fuck with. Right. Usually the way that I come into a room and the way that I introduce myself to someone says, hey, I'm a rather put together individual and I would love to have an adult conversation with you. However, if that particular presentation is ignored and they can only be focused on my physical attributes, then I have a good time with that. Yeah.
Now, what about a man-woman relationship? A lot of men aren't going to go for a very dominant female, or a very assertive, independent female isn't going to win big marks with some guys. So how do you counteract that? I'm sure you've had that problem in your life with some guys and say, oh, I'm dating this porn star, and he finds out that you're probably smarter than him and you got more going on than him.
I have no time for spineless men. I have no time for men who are weak, and a man who needs to be stronger than his partner is a weak person. He is a man who is threatened by a woman who is accomplished, who is confident, and the only kind of man or potential partner, whether that be man, woman, or trans, the only kind of person who would have an issue with that is someone who needs their partner to be weak. And why would a partner need someone to be weak? It's because they do not have the ability to act as an equal. And if someone does not have the ability to act as an equal, I have no interest in knowing them whatsoever.
Sure, of course. I was going to ask you some time ago. First off, the reason I had you on the show really had nothing to do with you being a porn star. I had followed you. We have a mutual friend. And so I saw you when I first got to Vegas, which almost 2 years ago. I saw you at an event, and I was very taken by you, and I was like, wow. And then we became Facebook friends. And I always wanted to have you on the show because I like to have people on the show that have an opinion about something and they stand for their opinions. You know what I mean? It's a big deal to me. The fact that you're also a porn star, to me, it actually says, like, do you ever feel like you're a role model to some women? I mean, because yes, you have sex, but more than that, you have openness and you have honesty and you're being yourself. I mean, you can't be any more yourself than you are when the camera's rolling, you know what I'm saying? So do you ever run into people who are like, oh my God, you changed my life forever, blah, blah, blah?
Yes, and yes, I have. I came into the industry and I started to celebrate my own personal satisfaction, my own personal sexuality, which is, I don't know, there's a word for it. Excuse me. There's a word for it where I am open to accepting all people and all partners until they give me a reason to do so otherwise. And sorry about that. And I mean all races, all body types, all ages. Over 18, don't get fucking creepy on me with that shit, right? Yeah, so I am attracted to people and people's sexualities and people's fantasies and people's excitements, and I celebrate that. And there have been men, women, transgendered people, and people considering transition who have come to me in emails or on social media or in person who have told me that I gave them the courage to be who they really wanted to be, whether that be a woman after she has a baby who's embarrassed about her tummy, which is a shameful, shameful thing that a woman should ever feel embarrassed about her body after having a baby. And it's sad, but I've gotten a lot of women who have become depressed and recovered, who are now managing a healthier, maybe livelier weight, who have become confident in their body. seeing that I am a plus size woman, and I am a plus size woman. I'm tall and I carry it well, but I'm plus size. And I've also come across men and women, or even men and women who decided that later down the road they were gay until they're almost 40, or even later, reading interviews, or even just maybe being interested or entertained by my social media. They've gotten the courage to live life the way that they want to, and they found their own personal happiness, and that to me is a success.
Yeah, I agree. I want to talk about one thing. It's a very, very ugly subject.